Okay, I'm going to do a quick edit with this backdrop. Now, unfortunately, it's a narrow backdrop. It's from Madras Props, and I know they're going to get some bigger backdrops. I'm actually going to frame this one more to the side. I'm going to try the content aware and see if it works. It should allow me to blend it a little bit better. So I'll flatten that. When you do content aware, it makes it a layer. So you have to flatten it. Just using the patch tool to blend it a little bit. Okay, so let's go to this side and see what happens. I think that'll work. Let's flatten it. Just taking away the line so it's not so obvious. Okay. She looks amazing for being pregnant with her 4th child. Amazing. So I'm just kind of blending here a little bit. This seam, this bodysuit's a little too big for her, so I'm just gonna blend the seam. Not even the seam, the wrinkle. She's teeny tiny. I'm gonna go a little higher on the cut, just because it should be higher. Just give it a little bit more shape. There we go. Then I can just kind of push this in a little bit. This is just using the liquefy tool. Don't ever underestimate the liquefy tool. You can just kind of nip and tuck where you need to. I'm going to take away the excess material here. Now this is just an average size. I tell people all the time that I usually just use average size and then I just kind of clip it where I need to. Just kind of fixing the wrinkles just using the clone tool. And then just blend it with the patch tool. Okay, so I feel like her hand is a little too bent there. So I'm just gonna See if I can make it not so bent. Nip and tuck. This bodysuit's like swimming on her. Okay, so now I'm thinking, before I always work on the skin last. Work outside in, backdrop, and then in. People like to work on the skin first, but you should kind of work on the outside in. Lauren from LSP actually has a workflow video of what you should do first when you're editing. Check out lsp-actions.com. I was thinking of just stretching this background a little bit because it was kind of bothering me. So I was wondering, what if I just stretch it a little bit more and then let it fall dark? You can even make these flowers a little bit bigger. And then I'll darken this corner a little bit more. So just using my patch tool there, and then just what I'm going to do is just take a little darkness, not too much, with a paintbrush. Just kind of darken a little bit more. What I'm also going to do is, LSP has a vignette that I love. Under Studio Vogue, it's way down here. I usually don't do this till after the skin, but I'm just going to show you because it's going to decide if I do more to the backdrop. If I vignette that, see, that looks much better. So I will vignette that, but I'm going to do that at the end. What I'm going to do now is, I love her skin on Maternity Retouch. I'm going to do portrait skin, hit play, and I'm going to run it over the whole thing. Now it's a layer, so I can turn it on and turn it off, but look at her skin once I do this. So if I turn off the layer, see the difference? Isn't that beautiful? So I love that. And then I'm going to flatten it. And then I'm going to come back over to Actions. And we'll do the vignette overlay. And I'm going to run it a second time and then go lower on the opacity. So I'm going to turn that off. And then on this one, and I think I want to see if I can adjust the stretch on these flowers a little bit much so they're not too stretchy. Okay. Looking much better, right? Okay, so we're going to flatten this. I'm going to go back to Studio Vogue. And I'm going to go down to the skin. And I'm going to do eyelash and brow and pull the detail a little bit more. I'll zoom in so you can see. Bring down the brush, go harder. And just put more definition to her eyelashes and her brows. And you can kind of go around and just get some more definition there. Go around the hairline. I'm going to flatten, and then I'm just going to adjust the curves, just pull out that shadow just a little bit. And I am going to turn the red down just a little bit, go into red, and just take the saturation down a little bit. Now, we do a snapshot. Oops, snapshots in history. So if we go into snapshot, so there's before, after, before, after. Can even pinch it in just a little bit more. And there you go.